Emotions serve as an indelible hallmark of the human experience, encapsulating the very sense of what it means to be alive. They are the profound yet elusive elements that govern our perceptions, underpin our actions, and shape our interactions with the world around us. Rather than being mere fleeting sensations, emotions constitute a complex web of psychological and physiological responses that inform our thoughts, guide our choices, and ultimately carve the narrative of our lives. Recognizing the paramount significance of emotions within a human experience is crucial, as they not only reflect our inner states but also fundamentally influence our relationships, motivations, and the decisions we make. Deep down, emotions can be understood as multifaceted responses to stimuli, encompassing both internal psychological processes and external social contexts. Emotions generally arise from appraisals of situations or events, engaging individual perceptions and past experiences. This duality of factors, the subjective interpretation of a situation and the objective reality of that situation, illustrates the intricate interpretive frameworks that each person employs. For instance, two individuals might react differently to the same event based on their past experiences, personal beliefs, and emotional maturity. This variability underscores that emotions are not universally fixed but are shaped by an amalgamation of biological, psychological, and social influences. Emotions work fundamentally as the language of the heart, transcending mere biological responsibility to become the compass by which we navigate the complex landscape of interpersonal relationships, personal aspirations, and ethical dilemmas. From joy and love, which inspire and uplift, to fear and anger, which make cloud judgment and provoke negative behaviors. Emotions encapsulate a spectrum that is integral to our perception and response to the environment. Such emotional influences cannot be adequately understood without acknowledging their function as mechanism through which humans engage with their respective realities. Emotions are imbued within the human experience by an intelligent designer. It highlights how these emotions function as guiding principles and decision making processes. While individuals possess the autonomy to make choices, the emotional compass provided by this design is essential to fostering intelligent decision making, steering individuals toward positive outcomes and mitigating the influence of negative experiences. Emotion is an intrinsic aspect of the human experience, serving as a complex interplay of physiological responses, cognitive assessments, and behavioral tendencies. It constitutes a spectrum that can encapsulate feelings ranging from joy, sadness, anger, fear, or to love, among others. Emotions are often categorized as either positive or negative. However, a more nuanced understanding reveals that any emotion can be perceived as good or bad, contingent upon various factors such as the situation, intensity, motive, use, and outcome. The intensity of emotion further complicates its moral categorization. Emotions exist on a continuum of intensity, from mild feelings to overwhelming experiences. Take, for instance, fear, a primal emotion essential for survival. A low level of fear may serve to enhance awareness and prepare individual for potential threats. However, when fear escalates to an overwhelming level, it can incapacitate an individual, leading to anxiety disorders or irrational decision making. The transition from a constructive to a destructive force exemplifies how intensity can profoundly alter the ethical framing of an emotion. Moreover, consider love, which is often idolized as the purest of emotions. While love can foster compassion, connection, and support, its intensity can lead to possessiveness, jealousy, and obsessive behavior. Relationships grounded in intense love without healthy boundaries may devolve into toxic dynamics, demonstrating that even emotions celebrated for their positive association can morph into harmful manifestations when intensity is unchecked. Hence, the degree to which an emotion is felt can dictate its implication, reinforcing the notion that intensity must be considered when appraising emotional experience. The situation in which an anger emotion emerges plays a pivotal role in determining its perceived goodness or badness. For instance, consider the emotion of anger. Anger is commonly viewed as a negative emotion, often associated with aggression and destructive behavior. However, in certain contexts, such as social justice movements, anger can act as a catalyst for change and empowerment. The indignation felt in response to injustice can mobilize individuals, fostering solidarity and prompting action against oppressive systems. In this light, anger can emerge not as an inherently malevolent force but rather as a potentially constructive response to situational stimuli. Conversely, an emotion typically regarded as positive, such as happiness, can yield adverse outcomes depending on the situation. In a professional setting, the unrestrained expressions of happiness may be perceived as unprofessional or inappropriate, particularly in contexts that demand decorum and seriousness. Similarly, excessive happiness in response to inappropriate circumstances, such as celebrating in the face of tragedy, can be deemed socially unacceptable and lead to ostracization. Thus, the situational context is paramount in shaping the quality of emotion, underscoring that the same emotional experience can manifest in both beneficial and detrimental ways. Motive is another critical facet in evaluating the worth of an emotion. The intention behind an emotional response can alter its ethical ramifications significantly. For example, guilt is frequently perceived as a negative emotion associated with remorse and self-reproach. However, guilt can function as an impetus for moral growth and ethical behavior when it compels individuals to acknowledge their mistakes and make amends. In this concept, guilt transitions from a debilitating force into a catalyst for personal development, eliminating the potential benefits that can arise from an emotion initially deemed undesirable. In contrast, the experience of joy derived from the misfortune of others, often referred to as sadism, illustrates how motive can transform a seemingly innocuous emotion into a morally dubious one. This phenomena elucidates the notion that emotions are not morally neutral. Their ethical interpretations hinge upon the intentions that underlie them. This tenet emphasizes the necessity of scrutinizing the motives driving emotional reaction as they can significantly inform the consequences of such emotions. The utility of an emotion also plays a significant role in shaping its positive and negative connotations. Emotions can serve both instrumental and expressive functions. Emotionally charged responses can be harnessed as tools for effective communication, negotiation, and persuasion. For example, the expression of sadness may elicit empathy and support from others, forging deeper connections and facilitating social bonds. In this light, sadness takes on a constructive utility, fostering solidarity in times of distress. On the other end of the spectrum, the utilization of emotions as a means of manipulation or coercion raises ethical concerns. Emotions wielded as tools of exploitation, such as leveraging sympathy to gain unjust advantages, can lead to negative outcomes for both individuals and society. Thus, the application of emotion in social interactions elucidates the potential for both constructive and destructive uses, reinforcing the idea that the employee of emotional experience is contingent upon context. The notion of emotional intelligence, the ability to recognize, understand, and manage one's own emotions, as well as the emotion of others. Emotional intelligence fosters effective communication, facilitates conflict resolution, and enhances interpersonal relationships. It is increasingly acknowledged that individuals with high emotional intelligence tend to navigate social environments more adeptly and maintain healthier relationships, thereby underscoring the importance of emotional awareness in a comprehensive understanding of human life. Emotions are not only pivotal to interpersonal relationships but also play an instrumental role in decision making processes. Emotions significantly influence our judgments and choices, sometimes overshadowing rational thought. Decisions are frequently swayed by the emotional weight we associate with potential outcomes. An individual driven by fear may avoid taking risks, while one motivated by enthusiasm might pursue an opportunity without due caution. This emotional influence on decision making highlights the importance of emotional regulation, which refers to the ability to manage emotional responses to achieve desired outcomes. Individuals adept at emotional regulation can better navigate complex situations, balancing emotional inputs with rational considerations, thereby enhancing their capacity for effective decision making. This dynamic interplay between emotion and cognition highlights the necessity for a holistic understanding of human behavior, one that transcends traditional dichotomies of reason and sentiment. The outcome of emotional expressions and experiences fundamentally shape their moral character. Emotion that culminates in positive social change, a personal growth can be deemed good, while one that results in harmful consequences such as relational discord or perpetuating cycles of violence may be classified as bad. The differing outcomes illustrate the significance of evaluating emotions through the lens of their consequences. As such, emotional experiences should not be relegated to simplistic dichotomies. Rather, they should be contextualized within their broader implications. Societal changes precipitated by collective emotions, such as despair leading to a renewed commitment to community action, are testament to the idea that emotions serve as both impetus and outcome in the human experience. Hence, the resultant consequence of emotions must be weighed thoroughly to ascertain their moral standing. In striving to attain the best outcomes, individuals must learn to navigate their emotional landscape with both awareness and intention. The importance of fostering balanced emotional states should not be ignored, which can enhance resilience, creativity, and overall life satisfaction. By focusing on elating emotions such as gratitude, compassion, and hope, individuals are better equipped to face their challenges, navigate relationships, and make decisions that align with their higher aspirations. Moreover, this process necessitates the avoidance of prejudiced emotional states that can observe judgment and lead to regrettable outcomes. Individuals must cultivate strategies to manage and transform prejudiced emotions into constructive behavioral responses. For example, practices such as mindfulness and cognitive reframing can empower individuals to reevaluate their emotional responses and to adopt perspectives that favor clarity and rationality. By reframing negative situations, individuals can harness their emotional intelligence to convert adversity into opportunity, ultimately leading to better decisions and outcomes. Emotions serve not only as individual experiences but also as social constructs, integral to the fabric of human interaction. They are essential in establishing social norms and fostering communal bonds. Emotions such as empathy and compassion are crucial for nurturing connections among individuals, cultivating environments of trust and cooperation. The capacity to share another feeling, to resonate with their joys and sufferings, emboldens community solidarity and deepens social ties. Conversely, emotions such as hatred and jealousy can engender division and conflict, illustrating their power both to connect and to alienate. Moreover, cultural contexts significantly shape the expression and interpretation of emotions. What may be considered an appropriate emotional reaction in one culture may be perceived as inappropriate in another. For instance, while open expressions of grief might be encouraged in some societies, others may advocate for nuances of emotional expressions, can enhance cross-cultural communication and mitigate misunderstanding, underscoring the importance of recognizing emotions as both personal and communal experience. Spiritual traditions assert that emotions are not merely random chemical reactions in the brain, but rather manifestations of deeper spiritual truth and energies. In this view, emotions are seen as messages from the divine, guiding individuals toward greater self awareness, growth, and connection with the higher power. For example, feelings of love may be interpreted as a reflection of God's unconditional love for all beings, while anger could be seen as a call to action in pursuit of justice and righteousness. By tapping into their spiritual regions and significance, individuals can learn to navigate their emotional landscape with greater clarity and purpose, ultimately leading to a deeper sense of fulfillment and alignment with their spiritual path. Emotions are a foundational element of the human experience, intricately woven into the complex fabric of our lives. They inform our perceptions, decisions, and interactions, guiding us through the multifaceted landscape of human existence. By embracing the significance of emotions, we can cultivate deeper connections with ourselves and others, enhancing our emotional intelligence and regulation skills. Are emotions result of randomness and chemical processes, or it alludes to spiritual and intelligent foundation?